There is a huge shakeup happening as a result of the Iran war, and I haven't really seen anybody talk about it. There are two economic cooperatives or cartels that were built specifically to thwart Western influence, and it looks like both are in danger of crumbling. Now, the first one is OPEC, and this is by far the most powerful one because, again, it is the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. The world still runs on oil. Saudi Arabia is the most dominant country in that little cooperative. I mean, they have the second highest reserves of oil, but they are the world's second or third largest oil producer. Now, remember, the United States has never historically liked OPEC because it means there's this huge, very influential economic cooperative that can actually set terms that the United States kind of has to follow. And if they don't want to follow it, then there is going to be a lot of resistance and more expensive gas at the pump and a higher chance that whatever administration won't get reelected. So the United States has an open interest in undermining OPEC. And whenever OPEC loses a member nation, the US is kind of like, yes. When Qatar left in 2019, that was a pretty good thing, even though they don't produce that much oil. They're more of a natural gas powerhouse. But the UAE, they have what, 3.5 million barrels of oil that they can easily produce today. They want to raise it to 5 million, which can make them between the fifth to sixth largest oil producer right now. But as a result of Iran's attacks on that country and a few other Persian Gulf countries, the UAE has said they will leave OPEC because they don't want to be a part of an organization that includes Iran, which makes a lot of sense. Now, this isn't the first time that OPEC nations have fought one another. Iraq invaded Iran in 1980. Iraq invaded Kuwait. So there have been instances of these types of attacks. And then, of course, there is what was going on in Yemen, in which Saudi Arabia and the UAE were working against the Iran-funded Houthis. But this seems to have been the straw that broke the camel's back for the United Arab Emirates. The second organization meant to curtail the US dollar's hegemony over the world is BRICS, which is primarily led by China, but make no mistake, the UAE and Iran are also member nations of this collective. So let's just make a comparison to the EU. What if Portugal all of a sudden started attacking Italy? What if all of a sudden the United States started attacking Mexico? That's kind of what the BRICS nations look like. Also, OPEC. Don't get me wrong, the United States, the White House, they have made themselves look like a complete horses behind by alienating their NATO allies before the invasion of Iran. I mean, that's a stain on every American. But whatever mistakes the United States has made, we have also shown OPEC and BRICS nations, two organizations meant to check and curtail the West and primarily the US overextension of power, are really paper tigers, or at least very cannibalistic because they're going after one another. If OPEC and the BRICS nations still welcome Iran into the fold, they look incompetent and weak. And if they don't, if they actually expel Iran, then one of the US's main thorns in the Middle East will be economically suffocated. But either way, it is a lose-lose for these two organizations. And as bad as the trust is within, let's say, NATO and other economic cooperatives with the United States, the trust is even less in any organization that is cooperating with Iran. This is only going to benefit, again, the United States interest. Thanks for watching.